Okay, so now for the tough part here. We have resized the pig's head. We have tilted it a little bit. We have done some correction around the edges of the pig's head. Now we're going to work with the color correction. We're going to do quite a few different things here. First, we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to fill it with a color that is already on the animal that I'm morphing the pig to. So this deer has a lot of this dark brown color, so we're going to use that. Click OK, and paint. You may think, oh no, we just ruined it, but it's okay. It's on this layer that we just created, and we're going to change it to the color blending mode. And there you have the color that we used. Notice that it's doing this to the whole screen. We don't want that. We just want this to react with this layer and not the background layer. So we're going to hold down Alt, and you'll see the little icon here that has the arrow. And you're going to click, and it will leave that little arrow here. It means that it's only working with the layer below. Now, this may look very, very strange, and that's okay. Turn the opacity down a little bit, and we'll come back to that a little bit. Notice how it just takes a little bit of that orange off of the picture. That's what we're going for there. Next, we're going to mess with some adjustments. These adjustments, many of them will work for the different things we're going to do. I'm going to show you about 4 of them that you might want to use for this particular image, and you can mess with some of the other ones if you feel like some of the other ones will work better. First, we're going to work with some color correction, or some color balance rather, and it pops up here. Notice it also pops down here. We want this one just to react with the layers below as well. So we're going to hold down Alt and click and mess with some of those colors. We want to kind of increase the blue in here and still have a bit of red, trying to reduce that orange. So mess around with these until you find something that looks close-ish. How's that for a technical term? The exposure is going to help this particular image to darken the pig, because this fur is quite a bit darker than the fur on the pig. So again, hold down Alt and click so that it only works with this layer here. And we're going to increase the exposure. You can mess with all of these and see what they do before you actually use the correct one. Those 2 are not ones that I want to use for this image. I want to use this one going up. And notice how that's really helping in the color. You might take it just past where you want to go and then come back. Now we've lost a lot of the vibrance of the color, so we're going to choose vibrance and mess with the vibrance. Again, Alt and click, and see what you can do with vibrance. And if you're not sure how it's working, you can click on the eyeball and see what you've done. I've not done much with vibrance on this one. Every time I pull it up here, it gets too red. So vibrance may actually not be one that I use too much for this image. We're going to move on to the brightness and mess around with that. Notice how I did not do my Alt and click here, so it is doing this for the whole image. So let's change that problem. There we go. There, now we're getting really close. Okay, I'm going to zoom out so I can see a bit better. And this color is pretty close here. I can always go back and change some of the other things if I feel like it's not quite right. Might be helpful to do that.